Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Broken Theory. Today we got the homie Gold Soul Leo. What's good?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored, man. I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to sit with us and, talk about the journey.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on.
No doubt. So how'd you first get started with music?
I was back in about 2004. That's when I got my first guitar. Started making metal back then. I used like a cracked version of Guitar Pro, and then I got my first cracked version of FL Studio. And then from there, started making rap. And I worked with some people in the UK, Tony Mahoney and David Barr. And just kind of kept going from there, but it's always kind of just like a side hustle kind of thing I had going.
Mm-hmm. So at what age was that you started to pick up rapping and everything?
So I'd be at about 14.
Wow. And what year was this?
2004.
Okay. So you've been at it for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
So at what point did you get to making your own concepts?
Would have been about 2008, 2009. That's when I released my first album. And at that point I was using Reason 4. That's my main DAW that I use now.
Okay. As an artist, how do you feel like you found your sound?
I'm heavily influenced by a lot of like the East Coast golden era 90s stuff, like Souls of Mischief, De La Soul kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But very, very passionate about like the grimy, like old school Wu-Tang Clan kind of dark boom bap.
Yeah, I love that shit, man. How do you feel like you decide what a piece of music is ready to be shared with the world?
Oh, I'm pretty picky about my music these days. I've made like well over 1,000 tracks, but I find now I could sit at my computer for like 8 hours sometimes and completely scrap something. So I'm a perfectionist. I like to make it as good as possible, and sometimes that means just something super simple that's really catchy. And sometimes it's more like building up layers of sound to get to that perfect sound.
No, I completely get it. With music, it's like an onion. There's so many different layers to it, you can't even like scratch the surface.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your process like when you're working on an album?
So generally I'll pick like a certain topic to go with. Then kind of build up my sound based on whatever the mood of the album is going to be. I do some sampling, but I do most of my stuff now is like completely from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use like a Tascam recorder. I'll go out and record random sounds, turn them into drums, sometimes turn them into like a pad or pitch them up and down. Reason's got this crazy synthesizer in it. It's called Mimic, and it's pretty wild what you can do with that. I can take like one note and turn it into like an entire instrument.
That's fire. No, that's definitely fire. How important is faith to you?
That's really important to me. I've had some dark times in my life. So there's definitely a higher power that's, looking out for me.
100%, every step of the way, no matter
Absolutely.
what.
Yeah.
Even if you can't see it, it's always for the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
To you, what makes a good song or a beat?
What I'm looking for is something catchy, not necessarily the most elaborate, but good rhythm, good vibe.
No, I feel it. It usually is contagious, so it's either you got it or you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's just those simple beats, it could be just like 3 drums and like kick, snare, 1 cymbal, and couple of dope chops, and that's all it takes.
Nah, I feel it. Any books that you're reading or that you have read that changed your life forever?
Not really. I don't do a whole lot of reading books these days. I kind of bad for that. Any reading I do a lot of like studying herbology and mycology, so that's basically all the reading I do.
No, I got you. What sacrifices have you made to get where you are right now?
Oh, I made a lot. Dumped a lot of money into some of my equipment over the years. I've used basically every DAW there's out there. Definitely been through some rough times, but music has always kind of got me through everything.
What would be an example of like one of the rough times that music got you through?
Before I met my wife, I was hanging out with some rough people. So, into drugs and all kinds of bad shit.
Yeah, no, but, I got you.
I had a friend who was a really bad influence on me. And one day I came home, he had taken both my laptops, like $10,000 worth of equipment, smashed my brand new Tractor S2, and stolen both of my hard drives. I had like 500 songs that I'd written over the course of like 10 years on there.
Wow.
So that basically made me smarten up, quit doing all the crazy shit right then and there. And I had to start over completely from scratch.
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, I've had to start from scratch myself a couple times. But sometimes, the fact that we're able to do it, it just makes you feel better. You know what I mean? About the whole process. Like some people, they hold on to their songs and they're like, oh my God, my song, blah, blah, blah. But you have the ability to create a new song today. You have the ability to make something better. I mean, you still made that and it hurts. Trust me, I know, but there's nothing you can do about it. So the best thing that you could do about it at that moment is to make a new song, something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
That definitely made me come back harder and stronger than ever before.
Oh yeah, I feel it, man. That's happened to me, I want to say maybe 3 times on different occasions. One time my computer was just old and it just like crashed and I lost everything. Another time the computer was plugged into an outlet, and during a storm, Florida has a whole bunch of storms. It got a surge and it reset the whole computer, and I lost everything in that. I forgot what happened the last time. Oh, I spilled something on the computer and it fried, but yeah.
Oh no.
I have bad luck. So I've learned to back up things.
Yeah, me too. I've always got external hard drives and save it to the cloud too. So at least I have 2 options.
You got to. How did you get your name, bro?
It's kind of based on an Underachievers song, Gold Soul Theory. And then paired that with my birth sign, which is Leo.
That's fire. When's your birthday?
August 9th.
Okay, that's what's up. What do you feel like was your biggest investment in music besides time?
Biggest investment in music would be just essentially that it's part of my life. So I just feel like I need to express myself, and that's my biggest outlet, I'd say.
How do you deal with creative block or moments of doubt?
Yeah, that's why I've been collabing a lot lately. So whenever I feel like I got mad writer's block, I'll get a project going that I think has some potential, and seems like I'm always the one that kind of starts the projects off, and then I'll send it to somebody, and usually after that, once I get the finished product back, then I'm like I have like new motivation, and it's just like writer's block is gone for a couple of months.
No, I definitely feel that. Who would you say is your top inspiration? People that have inspired your journey on your way?
People like Breauxkin from the Chill Hop music scene. I do a lot of like lo-fi stuff now, so
Okay.
I feel like people like MF Doom and like Grammatic, producers like that. RJD too, and it's another big inspiration to me too. J Dilla, all those kind of like the old school lo-fi guys.
Yeah, I definitely know MF Doom and J Dilla, but I'm gonna have to do my research on the other names. You said some legends, so I know if they're in the same category as those guys, man. I definitely got to do my research.
Yeah, for sure. They're like multi-instrumentalists, do a lot of sampling kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I definitely got to check that out. Walk us through your process when you're creating something new. Do you have any rituals, habits, or environments that help you get in the zone?
Yeah, normally I'm kind of unorthodox. I'll start with like, usually I'm looking for just like 2 or 3 chords, so maybe on the guitar or the piano. And then once I have something, just 2 chords, then I'm like, I'll build up the track around that, throw some drums on it.
And what are some of your favorite drums to work with? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that was all I had to say about that. Drums though, I tend to I use a lot of splice samples, so I'll like break them down. I'll take like a splice loop and I'll turn that into a complete drum kit. So I'm not actually using the loop anymore. I'll pick whatever drums out of the waveform that I want, and then I'll mix and match them. But my favorite thing to do is just go out in nature and like knock on a tree or something and turn that into like a snare or like a kick drum kind of sample, and just like start right from scratch with like basic sounds.
What do you record it with?
So I have this little Tascam recorder. It's I don't know, 10 or 15 years old now. It's got like a dual mic. You can pivot the mics around. It's got a really crisp sound, and you can record it. Actually, you can actually plug another mic into it too. It's pretty crazy. You can record live instruments into this thing, or it's got the built-in mics. So it's pretty versatile. You can do a lot of shit with that.
Nah, that's definitely dope. What would you say is your most memorable moment on the come up?
Most memorable moment? Honestly, it's probably the last couple of months. I don't know what happened, but I was on Reddit. I have a lot of playlists for Spotify, right? So I opened some submissions to them, and met this artist, goes by Rosa Mullen, and it's like, oh, kind of vibing with what they're doing. So shot them a message and I said, hey, you want to make some music? They said, yeah, we're working on an EP right now. So 2 days later, we had a finished track. They said, oh, I'm going to submit this to a label and we'll see what happens. And the label ended up signing us.
Wow.
And yeah, things just kind of took off after that. I've been kind of struggling with gaining momentum up until now. So it's crazy to see. I went from like zero listeners on Spotify to like 200 in the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 days.
Yeah. So what would you say is one of the biggest things that you've learned since then?
I would say definitely in the marketing aspect anyways. The biggest allies that you're going to have and fans are probably other producers and artists. Because it's hard to gain traction, especially coming from where I am, small town. A lot of people are not really into the hip hop scene or electronic music. So just plug away, find other people that are in your community, and just help them out, and they'll help you out.
100%, bro. Who are people in your circle that push you forward?
Yeah, so Rosa Mullen, I'm working with Evo Raven. Another guy is Adrian. There's so many more too. Milo Ciro is another one. So we all kind of do the same thing. We all have playlists, and we all kind of swap our playlists, swap songs, kind of thing. And everybody, the lo-fi community is pretty crazy now. Like everybody helps each other out. Everybody's, if you got criticism, at least it's good criticism.
Yeah. 100%.
And yeah, it's like everybody's down to work together. It doesn't matter if you have like a small following or a huge following. If you got good music, then yeah, people are willing to help you out.
That's dope. Who would you say is your favorite rapper?
My favorite rapper? Well, that's a tough one. uh, the Jizza and Inspected Deck were always like top favorite rappers of mine.
Wow.
But just the content of their lyrics and the way that, especially Inspected Deck, his flow was what really got me.
My biggest concert that I've ever performed at was opening for Jizza.
Really, that's awesome.
Years ago, man, in Orlando, my hometown, man. It was an unreal experience, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. I'd love to even just see a show.
I have it on camera, so I'll definitely send you the footage, bro.
Oh man, that's awesome for sure.
Yeah, 100%. What inspired you to do music the way that you're doing it right now? Kind of pushing beyond the limits, creating with no boundaries.
Yeah, so I've kind of refined my sound over the years, but I'm definitely still heavily influenced by like the chill kind, like Souls of Mischief, 93 Till Infinity is like one of my favorite instrumental tracks ever.
Wow. Yeah, that song is a classic.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I kind of built up my sound with like elements of that. So I focus on a lot of chill music these days. I don't do a lot of grimy, dark boom bap anymore, but I'm starting to get back into it now.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever catch yourself like sitting there studying the beats of like some of the greats and just like
absolutely
implementing the same techniques, like maybe one day trying like, you know, I guess threes, like thirds and stuff like that? Like, is there any examples that you have of like maybe some techniques that you've learned from the greats just off of like implementing what you heard?
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of DJ Premier, so I've like studied some of what he does with sampling and whatnot, and kind of implemented that into my own style. Another one is the RZA with some of the beats that he's done through the years. I've kind of taken some of that same kind of style as well and incorporated that into mine.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend, 100%. What's some advice that you would tell your younger self?
Probably just keep pushing. Don't overanalyze things, you know.
100%. It's always important to keep going, you know what I mean? Because consistency makes the difference. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's really worth it for you. If you really want this, if you can't go without it, then it's going to be known, and everything you do is going to affect it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's your favorite project that you've worked on?
My favorite project probably to date is the first two tracks off my last album, which is Moonlight Ride and Only One. I feel like those, as far as my hip hop beats go, those are like the pinnacle of what I've done so far, I'd say.
No, I really like that. You said it was Moonlight Ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one. It kind of gave me that late night vibe, bro. Just like riding on the interstate, cruising, smoking, driving, chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly. When I met my wife, that's what we used to do. We just go out for late night drives, smoking and chilling, driving around the countryside in Ontario, and that's where I got my inspiration for that beat.
So it's deeper than just like a title. It's a lifestyle with you.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you say is one of the songs that mean the most? Not necessarily on that project, but just in general to you.
The song that means the most, probably Only One. That one I actually wrote about my wife.
Okay, when did you drop that?
So, well, that's on my album Moonlight Ride. So that's the second track on the album. So the whole album is kind of like the days before I had kids, when my wife and I were more carefree. We used to have all the time we wanted to go and just chill and explore.
Yep, do whatever you want to.
Yeah,
everything
for sure.
has to be planned. Tell me about it, bro. I know what it is. But what would you say is maybe your best collaboration that you've done?
Best collaboration?
Or your favorite?
That goes back a few years. Best and favorite, I'd say, was with the guy who goes by Reckless. He's from Alberta. Pretty sure he's still there anyways. We made a track together. I used like these Koto samples and made this like grimy, old school 90s RZA style beat. And man, he just killed it with his lyrics. But we never actually released it. We put it on SoundCloud. I think it's still up there somewhere.
We definitely gonna need a link for that, man. We're gonna post it when we drop this.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it for you. I know I have it on a hard drive somewhere anyway, so I can send it to you.
Yeah, we gotta definitely hear that. But before we get out of here, man, is there anything you want to let the people know? Something that's on the way, coming soon?
Yeah, I got a down tempo track coming through Rice Bowl Recordings. Probably going to be releasing a couple of chill hop instrumentals, I'd say mid-November. And I got a whole bunch of collaborations in the works, so I'm just waiting to get some beats back from singers and producers. So 2025 is going to be a big year.
Dope. We look forward to it, man. We definitely probably going to have you back. You know what I mean? Talking about these projects.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
100%, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you sitting and making some time to talk with us.
Yeah, hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No doubt, my brother. Stay blessed. I'm going to give you a call on a personal note.
All right, sounds good.
All right, my brother.
Take care.